Hey everyone, I'm Norn Queen Alexis and welcome back to the channel and welcome to this Sola Auxilia / Imperial Guard / Militia Force as I battle this Bio Titan. Anyway, today we are looking at the forces of humanity. I don't really know what to call this army because it is 3 different armies in one. On one hand, we have my Sola Auxilia for Horus Heresy. On the other hand, we have my Imperial Guard for Warhammer 40k. But also, we have my Renegade Guardsman, which has a lot more miniatures than I thought it did. So I'm just going to call this my guard video, and you be the judge. Does this count as 3 different armies? I count it as 2, okay? Counted as 2. I count it as there's purple on my hands. I was painting one of the tanks. I count this army as my Sola Auxilia, and then I count this army as my Imperial Guard for 40k. So, and the reason that I do this is because I think the 2 forces are different enough that it counts as 2 different armies. Okay? Does that make sense? We'll get to it and see. So this is a lot of tanks. So the cool thing with Imperial Guard, if you're playing Warhammer 40k and you think, well, I want to bring more tanks. Why can't I bring 11 tanks to a game? Why can't I bring 12 tanks to a game? Well, let me introduce you to Sola Auxilia, where you can, in fact, bring like 20, 30 tanks to a game. Now, granted, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but my average game numbers all of these Leman Russes, one of these super heavies, and the 3 Malcadors back there. So, yeah, I usually run, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tanks. No, 15 tanks, because I take 3 as fast attack. So let's just dive in and see what this army is all about. I really just wanted to get all my tanks and stuff on the field and show you this army, and I love it. I love it. I think it's great. And I hope you guys get some motivation to start collecting a giant Sola Auxilia army of your own or Imperial Guard army of your own. And yes, I know the Imperial Guard have 2 different names, but they have the organization name and then they have the military name, which we're going to be using the military name here. So this would technically be considered the not Imperial Militia, but I could run them as militia with the Renegade Guardsmen, which is how I tend to run those guys. It depends if I'm taking allies. Yeah, so let's start with the Sola Auxilia. So these are 3 different, actually this is just 2 command squads, all with plasma guns, and they have some banners and Nuncio Voxes and everything that they need. So this is called a Auxilia Tactical Command Tertio, and Kovu has the zoomies and he's running around like crazy right now. Hi Kovu, you chill? No? Are you gonna chill out, buddy? You look scared. Are you good? Okay. Oh, nope, never mind. He's gone. Okay, so anyway. Tactical Command Tertios, they can all be armed with different and variety of special weapons. You can actually equip them all with like sniper rifles and they're really good. They have a +1 ballistic skill. They're insane. So I equipped them all with plasma guns so that they kill themselves. They have the Nuncio Voxes, their Augury scanners. They have all 3 upgrades, and they're on the varying models, and I made sure that everything is what you see is what you get. So you can see that all of them have plasma guns. You can clearly see who the sergeants are. And then I have what is this guy called? Well, this girl. A Auxilia Legate Marshal. So this is the Rogue Trader model that no longer has rules anymore, but she works really, really, really well as a Sola Auxilia commander. I tend to give her, if I'm running her on foot, two 2 pistols and a Paragon Blade, and then a 3-up invulnerable save. And I throw her in one of these squads and just make this squad really, really hard to kill while they just kill everything in return. So when you take a command tertio, it unlocks the ability to take 2 additional squads that can all be armed the same. So you can actually take 60 of these guys, which is what I intend to get. Right now I have 40, I need 60. And then if you take a certain rite of war, you unlock the Arvis Lighter as a transport. And we'll get to that. This is crazy. I love this. This is like an 800 point HQ choice, but it's so worth it. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. And I am so happy that my buddy Teo printed these out for me. These are 3D printed models. They look really, really, really good. Like if you get close to them, they just look fantastic. My paint job did not do them justice, and their base work is not done yet. I want their bases to look like this with the black Icelandic sand. So they, look really good. Moving on from there, we have our rifle sections. There are 4 squads of riflemen. Ignore the plasma guns, the boarding shields. This is so that I can use them as breacher teams or voidsmen at arms for my Inquisition force. So these units are also used in my Inquisition force. I plan to get 2 more of these so that I have the full 6 that I need. And each one of them just has a strength 6 lasgun that's heavy. And honestly, it does work. Like this squad, it either shoots 3 shots when you're close to them or 1 shot at strength 6. And it kills Marines so well. Because you have 10 shots just shooting into Marines, hitting on 4s. So you're hitting 5 times, wounding 3.5 times or something like that. And they're going to bring down like a solo Marine or a couple Marines. I like them. I think they're okay. Really good for just sitting on an objective. And when your opponent shoots them, they all get to react if they're part of the same tertio. So 3 of these is 1 infantry choice. So for your 6 troop choices, you can actually bring, 180 of these guys? And it's honestly crazy. The tertios work to unlock other units in that same choice. So when you buy units for Solo Auxilia, you're buying for 1 choice of troops. You're buying like 3 troop choices. So your 6 choices become 18 choices. And it's wild. I absolutely love it. I love the Solo Auxilia and how they play. So aside from just uniquely Solo Auxilia stuff, we have the Arvis Lighter. I plan to get about 8 of these things. This one is 3D printed because I have the real one. I was recently seen in a battle report, and it is garbage. It is beyond trash, and I know GW is going to take a few years to make a bunch of these. So I'm just gonna get them 3D printed. I know a lot of people out there are gonna be like, 3D printing, big bad. But I can't get this model, and I can get 6 of. I need 8 of them, and that is the mortgage on a home. So I'd rather pay like $30 to get 6 of them than, $100,000 to get them. So forgive me. All of these Russes, on the other hand, are not 3D printed. Okay? So yeah, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Vanquishers, 1, 2, 3 Demolishers, and 2 Plasma. I have 1 command tank in the back, but technically I just throw a different cannon on it because I have like a million cannons for the command tanks. Because Solo Auxilia, how they use their tanks is you'll notice that there's no side sponsons on these tanks. That's because in Horus Heresy, they didn't design them to have those yet. They just pumped them out as quickly as possible. So they don't have their side sponsons. So I tend to use these things in 40k, but I just tell my opponent, yeah, they're on the sides. And if you're shooting at them, you get a little bit of extra room because of the side sponsons supposed to be there. But I also tend to just bring these things in 40k versus Heresy. I bring these more in Heresy than anything else. So I like this setup, the Vanquisher Cannon, the coaxial autocannon, which I don't know where it's supposed to be. And even the new model with the Vanquisher Cannon does not have the coaxial autocannon, but it definitely has a coaxial autocannon. I'm just not sure where that's supposed to be. I might start modeling some with the autocannon and put it on top of the tank, like how I have the 30 cals on top. And I have some with the 50. Do I have any with the 50 cal? No, I just put the 30 cals on top. Those are heavy stubbers. The difference is this one looks more like the 30 cal versus the larger ones that the Marines use that look like 50 cals. I just consider them 30 cals because they're smaller than the Space Marine ones. Space Marines ones would be 50 cals. Does that make sense? Probably not. And I'm probably pissing off gun experts who are like, oh my god, Alexis, how do you not know the difference between the caliber of weapons and these exact models from World War I and World War II to this exact specification? Yeah, I haven't touched a girl in 3 years. I'm joking. I'm obviously joking. Actually, most military experts I know are happily married. Damn, that joke does not work. Should come up with a different joke for that. Damn, that was bad. I should edit this part out. I'm going to edit this part out. Anyway, moving on. They all have las cannons because las cannons big good, and I tend to use my guys for Marine killing, and the Vanquisher is so good at killing Primarchs, killing Dreadnoughts, and just killing everything, and it is my favorite gun in Heresy. It is also a good gun in 40k, and I know every Imperial Guard player is going to be like, no, it's not. It's actually bad. And I'm going to be like, big gun go pew. I love the Vanquisher. It's silly, but it's a guard tank. Of course it's silly. But look at that gigantic gun. It's so much fun. And then I combined it with the snub-nose gun, which is also really good at killing Marines. I love this setup. I'm okay with the plasma tanks. They're just And the command tank back there never shoots because he uses his Cognic Signum to make the squad shoot better. So these things shoot at ballistic skill 3+. If that thing does not shoot and it's part of the squad, yes, in Heresy you squad vehicles, and you can have a command tank with every squad of vehicles, and for every choice of heavy armor you take, you can actually unlock another unit of tanks. So again, in one heavy slot, you could take 6 tanks. So it's like 18 tanks you can take. There we go. Get off the computer. Kovu, hey, get down. What are you doing? Oh my god, all right, I gotta go stop him. Kovu crisis averted. But yeah, this is what I consider my Soul Auxilia force. Also the Super Heavy right here, which this Super Heavy looks so cool, and I absolutely love it. I got it at a pretty reasonable price, and it is absolute garbage. It is so bad. It is the cheapest of the Super Heavy tanks for Soul Auxilia, and it's so bad, but it's so cool, and I love it, so I bring it to games. One of the more common things that's believed with players in Horus Heresy is that super heavy tanks are just not worth it. They absolutely are. You're just playing them very poorly. I usually go with this or with the Baneblade back there, or I count the Baneblade as the not the Shadow Sword, the one with the giant plasma cannon, and that one makes back its points like tenfold. I absolutely love it. The Baneblade is kind of trash. I will admit that. It is pretty bad. This thing is just okay. It's not great. It's not like, oh my god, it's going to get back all of its points, but it is going to be a giant distraction for your opponent, and it has a ton of wounds, so your opponent trying to get through this thing is going to be very difficult, and it doesn't suffer any results. So if you stun it, it does nothing. If you immobilize it, it does nothing. If you shake it, it does nothing. If you explode it, just takes D3 hull points, and it can just tank all day. These things usually survive 3 rounds in a 4,000 plus point game, which I think is fantastic. Now, that's pretty much... Oh yeah, then the 3 Malcadors. These things also have Vanquisher cannons. They have a Demolisher cannon as well, which is supposed to be down here, but I still have to get something for it. These are the old resin kits, so they're absolute garbage, and I'm looking to replace them with the new ones. I'm just a little lacking in funds right now, so getting them is proving a bit difficult. One is not painted yet. I'm still working on that one, but 2 of them are. I try to take these things to every game, but they don't get a command tank, so they're only hitting on 4s, and Lehman Russes are just better for the points, but they look so cool. Look at them. Like, you're going to tell me not to take that tank? Look at it. This is how I determine whether or not I'm going to collect something. Does it look cool? The answer is yes. I'm taking it. I love this tank. It is one of my favorites in all of 40K. The Malgador has always been such a cool and unique looking 40K tank that feels both World War I-ish, World War II-ish, where it's like, it's just ridiculous enough to fit in 40K's aesthetics and just stupid enough to work. I love this damn thing. It's also got a ton of guns. Like, it has 2 cannons on the side, a demolisher, and a vanquisher cannon. You could also give it a stubber, but you don't give it a stubber. And that is pretty much the Sola Auxilia portion of this army. That is it. That is all I use for the Sola Auxilia. Now, moving on to, let's just get the Renegades out of the way. For Renegade, oh yeah, these are 2 junior officers. These are 2 junior commissariats as well. They or all 3 of those, technically are in my Sola Auxilia army. These models are older than me, by the way, these 2 right here. These are metal. Actually, I think this one is lead, which is crazy. Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the Renegades. The Renegades are pretty quick and easy. These are the Blackstone Fortress miniatures. These are also the Blackstone Fortress miniatures with a one random miniature thrown in there from Raging Heroes, I think. I just like these mostly for 40K, but for 30K they work as militia in case I need to make my guardsmen evil, or I'm playing on the opposing force to loyalists. I like to do this, or I'm playing renegades. What? You are going to make a gigantic mess. Is this where you're choosing to lay down? You are a goofball. There are so many miniatures around you. And you are going to make such a mess. But you are really cute. Anyway. And yes, I trust my cat enough to just leave him. These are more Renegades. I think they work. These are the Renegades and Traitors from Kill Team, I think. And they work really well. You can mix and match them with the others, and they look just fine. Then we have the Renegade Commanders. We have a... well, she's not there. We have 3 Psychers. We have 1 Commissar. And that's pretty much it. That's just what I run. It's mostly because I got 2 of the boxes. I should actually have another one of him somewhere. Don't eat the book! No. No. Then I have my Chaos Ogryn. If you notice, 2 of these are Goliaths. I really like them for Chaos Ogryn. I think they work really well. They look more chaotic, especially if somebody has never played the Necromunda game. I also use them for Necromunda. And then I have the Void Farers, which was part of, not hers, but the other Rogue Traders. And then I just got this guy, and he looks all cool. And that's pretty much it for the Heretics. It's mostly just a guardsman switch, and that's roughly it. So then moving on to the 40K guardsmen, and yes, we have a lot of Sentinels. These Sentinels are also part of the Sola Auxilia now. I'm going to get them some Melta Lances and missiles and throw them on the side of them and just count them as... Are you good? You were just tempting fate. I love you, buddy. I love you. You're so cute. You are. But you're ready to fight. Don't eat the book. No eating books. So these Sentinels are the older Sentinels, and I got these really cheap and got a bunch of them from friends. So the 6 of them that are purple I got from my buddy Lee, and 6 more of them we just randomly picked up in lots and everything, and as people were getting rid of them for replacing them with the newer ones that look like V8 buses, I started grabbing them from people because I really, really, really like this Sentinel. And I'm going to get a couple of powerlifters just to have. But yeah. So these are a mix. Anyway, moving on to 40K, we have Lord Solo Leontis. This is my conversion for him. I had a random Reaver Titan. I used to have a Reaver Titan. My Reaver Titan was unfortunately stolen. Shit happens. This is his hand and what's left of it. Yeah. And then I just bought a 1,000 kroner horse guy and threw him on top and then just gave him a chainsword. And I was like, yep, that's good enough for Lord Sol Leontis. Because I didn't want to pay like 8K for him. He's like $60 US. I just didn't want to pay that. I could just pay $5 and get a horse and throw it on a Reaver part. And that's good enough. Then we have my commissars over here. We have this dude who I don't know what to use him as, but kind of just use him as whatever. We have my other commissar stand-in. This is supposed to be my commissar Yarick. I just gave him a lightning claw and a big-ass stormbolter. We have some attaches. We have a Primaris Psyker. Then moving on from there, we have the three, these are not wyverns, these are manticores. My 3 manticore missile launchers. I really like these things. They were really good at the beginning of the edition. Now they're just kind of okay. Still good. I have a snub-nosed basilisk right there. That is 3D printed. Then moving over, we have my Loyal 32. These are my guardswomen. All of these are women and they come from, oh my God, I forget where they're from. But these are all guardswomen. And the idea was back when I bought these, I bought 32 women guardsmen and only women so that I can ally them in with my Sisters of Battle because Sisters of Battle won't fight alongside men. It's kind of their whole thing. They won't transport themselves with the men. And so the Imperium being the Imperium, instead of just saying, hey, get over it, they were just like, nah, send women with them. Because that's the Imperium. They're very stupid. But this was back in 8th edition when Loyal 32 gave you extra command points and everything. So I bought these girls up and I made sure to have a couple of women officers to go along with them. Just so I can transport them all down and have the Loyal 32. I have some, not Casterkins, these are Scions. They're painted very poorly, and I really want to redo these or just get rid of them and just buy new ones. Then we have the 3 Rogaldorn tanks. I love this tank so much. I know there's a lot of controversy. Oh, it doesn't have a bottom. Yeah, well, neither do you. Yeah, that's an insult. Damn. Somebody's going to be offended. But 3 Rogaldorn tanks. I love these tanks. I think they look really cool. They're chunky, they're big, they're the Lehman Russ replacement, and I think they look great. And then the Lehman Russ stayed because the Lehman Russ was just points for point better. Yeah, I have a Baneblade back there. I am debating repainting this thing. It is a Dark Angel / Sister of Battle Baneblade that is barely holding together. I'm thinking of either retiring it finally, or should I paint it up to match the purple and black of my other tanks, where they have this nice theme going on with them. Or should I just keep it as this and just retire it or sell it off? Your call. I'm really iffy about it. It's like a Dark Angel looking tank, but damn does it need work. It is pretty brutalized. I don't know how I feel about it. I might just get it redone. Is there anything else I missed in this? Oh yeah, there's a couple of Ogren. Look at them. There they are. There they are. Regular Ogren. And I think that's it. Did I cover everything? I think I got everything. There's just a lot in this army. Oh, no, I didn't. These are my, not squats, these are Rattling snipers. And then behind them, I have regular snipers. These guys I swap in and out of command squatting for Sola Auxilia. Or for the command squad for Cadians, just so I have it. If you notice, I don't really have any, like, command squads in the traditional sense for my regular guardsmen. Because with my regular guardsmen, they tend to just take tanks, because tanks. I need to get some Casterkin, I need to get some regular guardsmen and paint them up, but honestly, I only like Guard for their heavy vehicles, And I think it's just better. Like, big tanks. Tanks for the memories. Like, just look at them. They're cool. I like me some tanks. But I'm also starting to flesh out my infantry with Solar Auxilia. So I guess that counts, right? Right. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed... As I lose my voice. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found some inspiration to keep your guard going and to look into the Horus Heresy and play your guard there. They are very fun, and a lot of people don't know how to take them. I find them to be very, very, very entertaining, especially when you go up against an anti-tank list with nothing but tanks and just shoot back and forth. It is so much fun. I absolutely love the Horus Heresy. Highly recommend you check it out. And as always, if you like the video, support the channel. There's a Patreon link in the description down below. I'm Darn Queen Alexis. I love you guys. Bye.